Hi everyone, and welcome to my April 2020 plan with me. Sit back and enjoy yourself as you watch my terrible handwriting and some beautiful collage supplies all come together to plan out my month. So, as you will see on the screen, these are the supplies that I used for my bullet journal today. I have a sheath of collage photos that I used, a Stabilo .88 fine liner in 04, a mechanical pencil, a Jelly Roll 08 in white, a black chisel tip dry erase marker from Office Depot, a 6-inch ruler that I keep in the back pocket of my journal, Elmer's washable school glue, scissors, just wait here for a satisfying sound, an eraser, and of course my 10-count zebra mild liners, brush pen, and markers. You'll see me working on the cover page for this month right now. For the background, I scribbled in the first few stanzas of T.S. Eliot's 1922 poem, The Wasteland. It is one of my favorite poems, and I've used it for April in my past journals too because I feel like it's so fitting. I'll read you the first stanza now. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. I found this to be particularly apt in school, as April was the month your teachers would begin to pile on the projects and papers in prep for exams. People would ask me how it was going, and I would respond, well, April is the cruelest month, like the sassy English major I was. I also think, given all that is going on in the world, that maybe a poem about endings and beginnings is appropriate. I glued on a triplet of rosebuds that I had already cut out from a magazine. Those I arranged in a row and added a title saying, Spring into April. I cut that from another magazine, last year's April issue of Dallas Modern Luxury. I backed that with a black rectangle that I colored in with my black dry erase marker to make it really pop, and I glued both into place. On the other side of the page, I wrote out the numbers of the month and filled it in with the initial for the corresponding day. I find this to be easier than drawing out the calendar, both because this month is lighter on events due to COVID-19 and because I'm bad at spacing the boxes in a way that doesn't fill me with rage. I highlighted the Sundays on the calendar with my pink mild liner, that way I would know when each week started. On the next page, I laid out my mood tracker for the next month. I've dealt with mood disorders for most of my life, so a color for each day doesn't really cut it. I plan on going into more detail on this tracker in another video, but it essentially allows me to track my mood fluctuation throughout the day with a specific fixed color code. I add a short note next to each day and longer, more specific notes on the opposite side of the page, along with space I leave on the next 2 pages. For this spread, I carefully marked everything out with a ruler and filled in some boxes with my black marker, going over it with my white jelly roll for a standout look. I set aside another box on each of the following pages for any notes I want to give to my doctors, like side effects from medications, so that I don't forget to bring them up in my doctor's appointments. Next up is my running list spread, which I use to keep track of ideas I have and that don't necessarily have a due date. I have these flights of ideas that can be pretty distracting, so I make note of them here. Sometimes I'll forget the idea the moment it passes, so putting it here means that I can act on it later when I have time for it. I sort them by priority with letters. I have high, low, and mid-priority levels, as well as a star for things that need to be done immediately. I have further letters to delineate whether it is a task just for fun or whether it is something I actually need to do. I'll list out items in the spread and check them off as I go. My quote page reads, "Like wildflowers, you must allow yourself to grow in all the places people never thought you would." I wrote most of this in my black Crayola thin-tipped marker. This was not the best for me as I rest my hand against the page while I write, and the Crayola created a lot of streaking. Luckily, this comes off if you wet your fingers a little. You might notice this happened with the other pages too. Oh well. It was very annoying, but it's too late to go back. I wrote the main nouns in my purple mild liner, which I then outlined in black fine liner. I paired the quote with some dark floral clippings that I cut into long strips and staggered out with some dot patterns. My weekly spread is pretty simple. I measured out 8 boxes that were 10 dots high by about 13 dots wide. My journal is the Leuchtturm, so it's about 27 dots wide. Thus, one of the sides will be 1 dot wider than the other. I outlined 6 of the boxes, leaving alternating blank ones in the middle for a clipping and a doodle. I used these 6 boxes for the days of the week. Now I'm realizing I should have done 7 boxes, but oh well. The other side has a long box for tasks and another for notes. Both sides have floral collage details and are titled and highlighted in pink. This is my final flip through. I really hope you liked this dreamy, flowery layout for April. I know I did. If you liked this video, make sure to click that thumbs up, and I'd love to see you join my subscribers. Also, this is how I film those top-down videos. No fancy aerial tripod, just duct tape, counterweights, and a lot of hope.